I think we got some more real estate questions.
We do?
Yeah. Survey says people want to talk about home buying, first-time home buyers specifically.
Wow. Well, hello everyone. Matt's going to be leading this today. And we're in our offices today. We thought we'd change the venue a little bit. We're here at Lisa Erickson and Associates. Come by and see us anytime. We're in the Morgan Stanley building. And we're up on the second floor. As soon as you come in through the lobby, you'll be able to see our logo, which is here. And always feel free to come in, have a cup of coffee, get a water, a Coke, Diet Coke. We have other things on offer as well, but we won't talk about that here.
Brian just
Welcome, Brian.
joined, and Chris as well.
Hello.
All right,
Good afternoon. It's a great day in St. Pete to talk about home buying.
Yes.
First-time home buyers, how long is the process to find a home? Well, as it pertains to first-time home buyers, I'd say the biggest difference for those is to know whether or not they're familiar with the local neighborhoods they want to live in. It's about location, after all. They're going to be there for several years. They got to feel comfortable with the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Folks that have lived here their whole life probably already know the neighborhood that they want to buy a home in, even if it's their first one. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, I guess I would agree. You know, the cool part about in any area where you are, you know, you've got opportunities for exploring different neighborhoods that you may not have even thought about. And that's part of the great part about what we do is we help find emerging neighborhoods. And, you know, that's some things that, you know, if I were to mention a particular neighborhood, you may or may not know what I'm talking about, because we try to basically look at emerging places that are going to become the next hot place so that we can offer opportunities for folks like yourselves who are interested in, you know, making a gain on the market where they can buy something at a lower price point at a time where the neighborhood is actually trending towards a better point, and get a better deal perhaps, and get a great home and watch their equity grow a lot faster than sometimes in a neighborhood that's already established. So,
Right. People are certainly thinking about what it's going to take to sell their home when the time comes. So buying in a trending neighborhood means that you'll have equity in your home.
and that's trending, not trendy, by the way.
Correct.
Yeah.
So your values are going up just by moving in the neighborhood. Next question, how many homes should I view? Really depends, again, on someone's knowledge about homes and the neighborhoods that they want to live in. So if that's already mastered, maybe it only takes half a dozen homes. Someone new to the area doesn't know the neighborhoods, might take 36 homes. Somewhere in the middle is where most people fall.
If you're looking at 50 homes, then I would suggest we have a problem. That's too many houses. Either we need to refine your criteria, or you need to think harder about sort of what you're willing to give up on, serve as sort of like a balancing. Maybe you trade off on a neighborhood for size or location, or numbers of bedrooms or square footage, or something.
You could just need an agent who wants to work a little harder. Sometimes that helps too.
That's true.
So if you're working with an agent, you've seen 50 homes, that's one of the reasons you start with a buyer's consultation. It doesn't matter if you're a first-time home buyer or a fifth-time home buyer.
Yeah.
We sit down with everyone, whether they're a solo person or a family or a couple or whatever the case may be, because everyone has different really desires and things that they want to have and different can't stands.
Mm-hmm.
So we start there to make sure that we're aligned about what you want, and we have that success of finding everyone we ever enter into an agreement to find a home, usually less than 30 homes for sure. Next question, if we could. Should I consider emerging neighborhoods, or should I stick with stable, developed neighborhoods? That's totally in the eye of the beholder. What's comfortable for one is different for another.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go into those neighborhoods, walk them, go different times of the day, see how you feel in those emerging neighborhoods. They're going to have a different flavor, a different funk factor, a different vibe than
Funk
your
factor.
fully
You should
established.
trademark that.
The funk factor is going to be
Funk
higher.
factor.
Funk factor, we want the funk. Bring on the funk, and St. Pete has a little bit of funk, which is cool. One of the things that makes it great.
Some people like funk, some people don't. And if you don't like funk, there's nothing wrong with it.
But there's one of those neighborhoods that are funk-free.
Yes.
And we can share those with you when we sit down at our buyer's consultation. What is the risk of these emerging neighborhoods? Are there rewards? Well, I already mentioned the reward in the first question, and that's equity, meaning that you bought the home, let's say, for $100,000, and 3 years later you can sell it for $150,000. Just as an example, happens every day here in the city, especially with clients we work with that go into these emerging neighborhoods. The risk would be that you are taking an unknown step and looking into a neighborhood to see what it will become. Sports analogies, like them or hate them, they are applicable, and the hockey analogy of skating where the puck is going is what the best players in the game do. Or if you're shooting pool, you're not thinking about that shot right there, you're thinking about the next shot where your ball's going to end up. And if you're a first-time home buyer, that's applicable because you're probably going to buy a second or third home, and does this home set you up to go do that? And usually that's a more expensive home.
Yeah.
So if you have that $20,000 equity, or 30 or 40 or 50 or wow, even maybe $100,000 equity, and we've seen it, by buying into an emerging neighborhood and living there for 2 or 3 years, that sets you up very well for your next move.
Yeah, I think that's a cool idea. You know, the whole idea of house hacking. You know, you may have heard that term, sort of align with, you know, going into an emerging spot or doing something that's sort of out of the box thinking. We help you as clients of ours think about, you know, what's going to be the best opportunity for you. You know, we look at your goals and what you're trying to achieve. There's nothing better than if you have the bandwidth basically to go into an emerging neighborhood, as an example, see that out for a couple of years, walk away with a big equity position and take that on to your next purchase and move up to a different home in a fantastic, well-developed neighborhood. For example, if that's your goal, you know, maybe 2 to 3 years from now, that's a fantastic opportunity to do that. So, depends if you're into the funk factor though. So, you know, sometimes it can be a little edgy, a little dicey, but if you're okay with that, you know, it's city living, that's okay. You know, new construction wise, sometimes in outlying areas like Apollo Beach, think about Apollo Beach, you know, back in the day, it was really nothing out there, and tons of people went over there, bought, you could buy great waterfront property, and look at it today, it's a huge, you know, development that's really kind of taken off. And there's lots of examples across that through Tampa Bay. So lots of opportunities abound.
Mm-hmm. Get in today and see us about a buyer's consultation.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think we're out of time, and we wish you a fantastic week.
Have a great day.
And stop in here and see us. Have a coffee with us. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.